Live from E-Line Ice Arena on the campus of the University of School of Milwaukee. Tuesday night hockey here as the Wildcats, the fourth-ranked team in the state, take on non-conference opponent, the Janesville Bluebirds, as USM looks for their sixth straight victory. Good evening and welcome. Cam McGuire here inside, high above ice level. As we just mentioned, the Wildcats looking for their sixth straight victory here as they play host to the Janesville Bluebirds. Will get you the starting lineups, the rest of the good old stuff, and then get you set for opening face-off just a couple moments away. The Wildcats coming into tonight's contest, a record of 10-1, and for the Janesville Bluebirds out of the Big 8 Conference, looking for their first victory on the season, a record of 0-6.
Home of the USM Wildcats. Tonight's matchup features the USM Wildcats and the Janesville Bluebirds. USM and the WIAA require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants
you back inside E-Line Ice Arena as we're just moments away from puck drop here as the Wildcats, like we said, taking on non-conference opponent in the Janesville Bluebirds here on this Tuesday evening. Cam McGuire with you here tonight. So glad to have you along for the ride. I guess you could call it your little pregame for the Canada-U.S. World Junior game, which will happen in about 90 minutes or so, as Canada or U.S. will come out with the gold medal in a couple hours. The other team a silver medal, obviously. Let's take a look at the line combinations here this evening for the Wildcats. Marcus Thundercloud going to be teamed up with Ben Malosi and Reed Woods. Kyler Ringgold, Jack McGregor, Ethan Mann, Noah Egbali, Ethan Tomes, Peter Els, Thomas Wright, Axel Moe, and Christian Ford. Those are the forwards for the Wildcats tonight. On defense, Charlie Kehoe, Garrett Cox, Michael Vogel and Michael Kennedy, Max Simononik and Henry Stone, and junior Jack Strader will get the start in net for the Wildcats. Opening face-off just upon us here, as USM will start with the line of Malosi, Thundercloud, and Woods. Kehoe and Stone on the back end, and Schrader down to our right. Puck is down, and we're underway here on this Tuesday evening. The Wildcats win the opening draw. Thundercloud, right circle, shot sent just wide. Kehoe keeps it alive at the left point, sends it behind the goal line. Marcus Thundercloud, 19 in white, in on the forecheck, bumps it up to the near side half wall. Now it's Reed Woods who takes it. He'll send it behind the end line. As the Bluebirds looking for a clear, it's the captain, Jamison Arundi, and he'll send it the length of the ice. No icing call, as Janesville in the middle of a line change just 30 seconds into the first period, as Thundercloud takes a big check right in front of the USM bench. That was courtesy of Walker Koulis. And now it's played back behind the Wildcats goal line by Stone. Stone now will settle it down. Punch back into the offensive end by Koulis. And it's now regathered by Stone. Stone sends it up to Woods. Now to Thundercloud. They'll gain the center red 58 seconds into the first, dump it on in, and go for a change. Tomes, Egbali, and Els. Vogel and Kennedy on the blue line. Vogel swings near side of the cage in his own end. On the move through center. Tomes up the right wing side, tried to get it to Els. It was picked off by number 22, Caden Erickson. Battle ensues on the near side half wall. Tomes works it out for the neutral zone. 2-on-0 here for the Wildcats. Tomes over to Els, shot, goal! 1:30 into the opening period. Peter Els is set up by Ethan Tomes, and the Wildcats take an early 1-0 lead. So Els with his 9th goal of the season. Just 90 seconds to break the ice here on this Tuesday evening. Restart at center ice, won by USM. Here comes Ethan Mann, drops it back for Kyler Ringgold. His shot, stick save made, rebound chance, they score again. Jack McGregor slams home the rebound. And 2 goals, just 10 seconds apart from one another. USM 2, Janesville nothing in the early stages. That'll be McGregor from Ringgold and Mann at 140. Face off back at center ice. Wildcats will leave the unit of McGregor, Ringgold, and Mann out up front. Cox and Simononik on the back end. Janesville back to play it behind their own goal line. Puck taken over by Ringgold. Out to the right point to Cox. Cox now hammers it along the end boards out to the near side. Ringgold arrives at the scene. Picked up by number 16, Jake Schaffner. Schaffner lifts it up into his own bench. A stoppage down at ice level, and a face-off will come just outside of the Janesville blue line. Both teams swap out personnel. Be Axel Moe to take the draw for USM up against the captain, Jamison Rundy. Pardon me, that's Walker Koulis for Janesville. as Moe's out with Christian Ford and Thomas Wright. The Wildcats ice the puck here. 2:21 gone by here in the opening period. USM with goals 10 seconds apart from one another. It was Els and then McGregor. 130 and 140. Face off to the blocker side of Jack Schrader. Won by Janesville, controlled at the left point by Caden Kennedy. Shot fought off, leg save made by Schrader, who dropped the rebound. And a big save made here just minutes into the first period. Kehoe now gathers for the Wildcats up to the right wing side off the stick of Ford. Sent the length of the ice. Wildcats will swap out personnel. So a big save from Jack Schrader, who comes into the game with the best numbers in the state, a .49 goals against average and a .981 save percentage to go along with 3 shutouts. Defensive zone draw here for USM, 14-18 to play in the opening period, 2-0 lead. Malosi, Woods, and now Thundercloud, who picks it up near side half wall. Thundercloud over to senior defenseman Henry Stone. Stone, good outlet pass to Woods, who gets across the red line, and he'll dump it on in. Stick down by the goaltender, down to our right. Cody Cass, wearing number 32 here in the green and blue for Janesville. The Wildcats in their white and navy here this evening. Malosi calms it down at the center ice logo. Stone up to Woods. Reed Woods out of right circle. Sends a long-range shot, sticked off by Cass. Played now behind the goal line. Malosi, the first one on the puck. Tries to send it along deep. Picked off by the Bluebirds. Wildcats get it back. Woods twirling away from pressure. Tries to get it back out to the point. Nice job by Vogel to keep it in at the right side of the line. Now battle ensues on the far side half wall and finally wedged out to center. And Kennedy's back to retrieve this one for USM. Just about 4 minutes gone by here in the opening period. Peter Els and Jack McGregor have the Wildcats on top 2-0. As Kennedy shakes it in the offensive end, tries a centering feed to Woods. Off the skate of the Bluebirds defender, and now Tomes lifts it up into the right shoulder of Cass, and it's fought off into the near corner. Vogel pinches from the left point. Egbali to Tomes. Now Els zips it just wide. Tomes, Egbali, and Els working on the forecheck here for the Wildcats down to our left. Vogel pinches from the left point, hammers on in behind the goal line. Puck reverses to the far side. Egbali to Els, back up top to Kennedy. Kennedy walks the line. Outer right circle to Els. Great feed over to Tomes. The rebound, he scores. So Ethan Tomes gets the pass from Peter Els, and Cody Cass made the first save, but left a juicy rebound for Tomes, and he slams it home. 3-0 Wildcats. We still have 12:22 to go in the opening period. Face off at center ice. USM leaves the unit of Egbali, Els, and Tomes as Garrett Cox works out of his own end. Number 6 in white over to Tomes, the most recent goal scorer. Drifts to the outer left circle. Good defensive play there by Lucas Young for Janesville, and he'll send it high off the glass through the neutral zone. Cox now leaves it for Egbali. Egbali through the center ice logo. Gets around one defender. Here he is 1-on-3, wrist shot. Glove save made by Cass, who dropped it behind the goal line. Back in transition. Here comes Schaffner for Janesville. He'll spin it on in behind the goal line. Stick down by Schrader. He'll leave it for Garrett Cox. Cox guiding his way out through center. Tried to find Egbali. Egbali was going for the line change. And icing call here against the Bluebirds. 11:23 to go in the first period. The Wildcats out shooting Janesville 7-2 with a 3-0 lead. Offensive zone draw here for the Wildcats. Ringgold McGregor to his right, Mann to his left. Tied up in the near circle, McGregor frees it for USM. Out to the left point to Kehoe. His shot sent just wide. Stone keeps it alive at the right point. Back to the far corner to Kyler Ringgold. Now to McGregor. Mann in the high slot. Off the skate of Jamison Rundy. And Janesville looking for a clear. Ethan Mann spins it up in his own end. Pass intended for McGregor. Gets it back, center ice logo. Now tries to get across the attacking line. Taken over by Janesville. Here's a centering feed to McGregor, courtesy of Ethan Mann, sent just wide. Ringgold drops back for Kehoe, left side of the line. Kehoe to McGregor. That's dumped back in behind the goal line as the Wildcats in the middle of a change. Picked off by Mann, fires, scores. 4-0 for USM, 10:19 to go here in the first period. Ethan Mann with his 6th of the season. Face off at center ice. Unassisted score from Mann, his 6th of the year. As it's Ford, Wright, and Moe up front, Vogel and Kennedy on the blue line. Puck played in the offensive end. Thomas Wright frees it up for Christian Ford in the far corner. Ford brushed up against the end boards by Rundy. Now arriving at the scene and clearing it out through center was Caden Garcia for the Bluebirds. Back through center comes Jake Schaffner trying to get his way around Kennedy. Schaffner left dot, shot sent just wide. That's the leading scorer for the Bluebirds, Jake Schaffner, trying to get his team on the board. Ford through center for the Wildcats, gets across the red line. Headman pass up for Wright, skates after it, but it's taken over by Janesville. Out through center, here's Bryce Sullivan. Sullivan wedges it behind the goal line. Pardon me, that's number 10, Tyler Stuck. And now the puck played up into the Wildcats bench. Stoppage in play. Face-off will come in the Wildcats end with 9:12 to go here in the opening frame. Peter Els, Jack McGregor, Ethan Tomes, and Ethan Mann. 4-0 lead for the Wildcats. Ben Malosi takes the defensive zone draw, wins it back to Max Simononik, who plays it over to his defensive partner in Garrett Cox. Cox guides at the length of the ice, was sticked down by Cass. It's Malosi here, below the right circle, feeds it over to Thundercloud, and he redirected it just wide. Malosi, Thundercloud, and Woods, the forward unit on. Back out through center. Here come the Bluebirds. Centering feed, good stick from Simononik to get back and disrupt Caden Erickson there. Top of the point now, Rundy's shot blocked down once again by Simononik, and Woods will pull it free for the Wildcats in his own end. Shakes it out through center across the red line, now across the attacking line. Centering feed to Malosi just beyond him. And it's wiggled out through center, 8:15 to go here in the opening period. USM in the middle of a line change up front, as it'll be Els, Tomes, and Agbali. Janesville out to the neutral zone. Pass intercepted by Malosi at the center ice logo. Tripped up on the play, no call made. And Stone will bank it on in behind the goal line. Agbali the first forechecker there. Puck works its way to the near side. Els to Agbali. Backhand turnaround shot from Agbali, knocked down free. And Peter Els with his 2nd of the game after Henry Stone finds him on the near post. 5-0 lead, 7:42 to go here in the first period. Face-off back at center ice. Won by USM, Egbali, Tomes, and Els. Els is second of the game, now up to double digits on the year with 10 goals and 14 points. Els controls through center, will chip it on in behind the goal line. Wrong side of the red, and an icing call here against the Wildcats. .7:15 to go here in the first period. 5-0 lead for USM. Shots in favor of the Wildcats, 9-2. Defensive zone face-off one. Here comes McGregor, cuts to the middle. Good back pressure there from the Bluebirds, number 22, Caden Erickson. USM keeps it alive in the offensive end. Kennedy tries to get it behind the goal line. And it's played back out through center. So a last goal, Peter Els, second of the game from Noah Egbali and Henry Stone. As Kyler Ringgold settles it down in his own end. Over to Ethan Mann across the red line, now across the attacking line, right circle. Trying to send it to the high slot, was broken up there by number 22, Caden Erickson. Mann gets it back in his own end. Quickly up to McGregor. Puck played in the linesman's skate. And back out through center, carried on by Caden Kennedy, who will send it behind the goal line. 6:03 to go here in the first period. Wildcats on top 5-0. Els with a pair of goals. Tomes, Mann, and McGregor each with one. Here comes Michael Kennedy over to Christian Ford, but it's picked off by Schaffner. Schaffner to the high slot to Tyler Stuck. Out of his reach and back through center ice. Thomas Wright, Axel Moe, and Christian Ford working in the offensive end here. And it's sent back into the Wildcat end in an icing called against Janesville. 5:29 to go here in the first period. 5-0 lead. Offensive zone face-off here for the Wildcats. Won by Janesville and flung out through center. Caden Erickson down the left wing side. Good defensive play from Garrett Cox. Up to the left wing side to Thundercloud. Now up to Malosi. Ben Malosi, outer left circle. Gets it in on net. Save made by Cody Cass. He'll hold on for no further play. Malosi wins it back for Woods. Woods, Malosi, and Thundercloud work in the offensive end. Cox now walks the blue line. Wrist shot, didn't make its way to the cage. Scooped up by Ian Perkins. Sent up into the protective netting. And the faceoff will stay in the Janesville end. 4:54 to go in the first period. 5-0 lead for the Wildcats. Tomes, Els, Egbali. As Tomes wins it back to the right point to Stone. Now to Kehoe, his shot knocked down by the skates of Jamison Rundy. And Rundy will play it over his defensive partner in Ian Perkins. Perkins a stretch pass up to Schaffner. Kehoe able to get back, takes Schaffner down, nicely done. He'll wind it up in his own ends. Outlet pass to Els. Els chips it in behind the goal line. Cass comes out of his cage, will send it along to the near side to Rundy. Rundy trying to work it up to Schaffner. Batted at by Kehoe, left side of the line. Two Bluebirds players arrive at the scene, back out through center. Wildcats work it back in the offensive end quickly. Tomes over to Els, who raises it just high. Pardon me, the other way around. Els to Tomes. Stone punches it back behind the goal line. Egbali to Els. Back to Stone at the right point. Knocked down by the Bluebirds. Els keeps it in the offensive end. Already 2 goals here tonight. Shrugs it free. And Rundy able to clear it up for Janesville and loft it back out to the neutral zone. Henry Stone back behind his own blue line. Pass up to Noah Egbali. Egbali, Mann, and McGregor out. Delayed offside call. 3 forwards will touch up. Now Egbali will go for a change as Kyler Ringgold enters the ice for the Wildcats. Michael Vogel winds up behind his own net. Pass up to Ethan Mann through the neutral zone. Lays it up for Kyler Ringgold, who skates it into the far corner. Back to Mann, right circle. Mann's wrist shot blocked down. McGregor comes out with the puck for the Wildcats near side. Down behind the goal line to Mann, pushed up against the end boards. Now McGregor arrives at the scene. Lucas Young able to pull it free for the Bluebirds. And it's swung back into the Wildcats' end. No icing call. 2:43 to go here in the first period. USM 5, Janesville nothing. Kennedy across the attacking line. Down the right wing side with it on his forehand. Tried to sweep it to the high slot. Good stick from the goaltender, Cody Cass. Kennedy gets it back below the left circle. Drops it back for McGregor. Now back out to the line. Kennedy has to get back and he'll retrieve it in the neutral zone. Quickly up to Mann. Mann trying to spin away from pressure. Now through the center ice logo. Tries to work it up to Axel Moe out of his reach. And now Mann picks the pocket of Schaffner. Wright collects for the Wildcats. Left circle. Thomas Wright to the high slot to Moe. Back to the right point. Cox unloads. His shot sticked aside by Cass. Into the near corner. Moe, Wright, and Ford in on the forecheck here. Cox, right point, walks the line. Shot redirected from Wright. Cass save made. Moe the second effort. And Cody Cass with 2 big saves. Cox, right point. His wrist shot sent wide off the end boards. 90 seconds to go here in the opening frame. 5-0 lead for USM. Jack Schrader, long stretch pass up to Christian Ford. Ford will nudge it on in behind the goal line. Janesville looks to push the pace through center. Racing after it was number 27, Mason Hammett for the Bluebirds. Hammett for Kulas, the captain. Trying to spin it back to Brody Metcalf. Set it back out through center. Walker Kulas down the left side. Wrist shot, right leg save made from Jack Schrader. Flocked up by Malosi, dodges the hip check there. Good pass over to the right wing side to Woods. Trying to find Thundercloud. Good stick from Jamison Rundy, who controls behind his own blue line for Janesville. Rundy being pestered by Malosi. And now Rundy able to free it up, and it's flung back out to center. Just about 30 seconds to go here in the opening frame. USM 5, Janesville nothing. Stretch pass up to Kulas. His wrist shot. Stick save made by Schrader. Janesville will go offside as Rundy tried to hold the line. .6 to go. Opening stanza. Pair of goals, 1:40 into the first frame. The Wildcats push the pace. Here's Egbali left up. His feed, puck is loose. Tomes swatting at it. Cass sprawled out, able to make the save. And it's brought back out through center by Janesville as the buzzer will sound. First period in the books. In a 5-0 lead for the Wildcats. Els with a pair. Mann, Tomes, and McGregor, the other goal scorers here tonight. Shots in favor of USM, 13-7 through 17 minutes of play. We'll step aside up here, take a quick break in the action, and we'll see you back for period number 2 when we return. And we welcome you back inside E-Line Ice Arena as we get ready to drop the puck here for period number 2 as we begin our incline. And we're all set and ready to go. 5-0 lead for the Wildcats through the first 17 minutes of play. Just 90 seconds into the game, Peter Ells with a tally. Then 10 seconds later, Jack McGregor as Jack Schrader makes a big glove save. And they'll hold on for a face-off just 23 seconds into the second period here. So it was Ells, then McGregor, and at 4:38 it was Ethan Tomes. Ethan Mann at 6:41, and Peter Ells is second in the game at 9:18. Offensive zone draw here. Long-range shot from Ian Perkins. Back-to-back saves made from Jack Schrader, who saw 7 shots in the first period, made 7 stops. Wildcats fired 13 shots in the opening 17. Melosi, Thundercloud, and Woods out with Kehoe and Stone as Melosi kicked out of the circle, and Woods will win it back to Stone behind the goal line. Henry Stone over to the far side to Thundercloud. Now here's Reed Woods racing down the right wing side. Woods pulling away from pressure. He'll spin it back behind the goal line. Melosi in on the forecheck. Melosi trying to pick the pocket of Perkins. Perkins sends it back to Lucas Young. Young stops on a dime. Now over to the right side to Walker Kulas. Melosi able to kick it free. Back to retrieve it and settle it down as Perkins. But Woods is hard on the forecheck. And now it's Melosi. Melosi drops back for Thundercloud, who walks up the near side wall. Top of the point has it sticked off his stick by Walker Kulas. And Thundercloud back to retrieve it in his own end. Quick pass from Michael Vogel up to Ben Melosi. Taken over by Janesville just behind their own line. Perkins plays it off the far boards. Sent the length of the ice in an icing call 90 seconds into the second period. Ethan Tomes to take the offensive zone draw for the Wildcats. Noah Egbali at the right wing, Peter Ells at the left. Tomes up for Ells. Ells pushed up against the far boards. Taken over by Caden Garcia. Garcia bats it behind Michael Vogel. Vogel now curls in his own end. Pass to the left wing side to Egbali. Egbali's pass to Ells. Too far to handle on an icing call against the Wildcats. 1:51 gone by here in the second frame. Face-off blocker side of Schrader. And it's sent back out to center. Cody Cass comes out to play it from his blue paint. Puck reverses to the far side. Egbali picks it up for the Wildcats. Noah Egbali trying to shake free from Jamison Rundy. Back to the left point to Max Simononik. Simononik batting at him on the far side boards. Thrown out through center. Hand pass called against Janesville, but it's touched up by USM. Peter Ells back in his own end. Schaffner takes over for the Bluebirds. Tries a centering feed to Tyler Stuck. Puck's free, they score. Dylan Thong picks up the loose change. And Janesville is on the board, 2:53 into the second period. Restart at center ice, won by USM. As Janesville's cut the deficit down to 4. Mann taps back for Ringgold. Ringgold left side of the line. Centering feed, sticked off by the Bluebirds. And settled down by Caden Kennedy. Kennedy trying to escape pressure of Jack McGregor. Now it's turned over and scooped up by McGregor. But it's Perkins for the Bluebirds back through center. Ringgold across the attacking line, drops back for McGregor. McGregor squeezed it behind the goal line to man, trying to find a Ringgold in front, sticked off by Cass. And Perkins will lug it on through the neutral zone. Ian Perkins one-on-one with Charlie Kehoe. A good job by Kehoe. He'll draw a penalty here as Schrader heads to the bench for the Wildcats. And we'll have our first power play of the night. 2 minutes for holding. .341 into the second. It's Ian Perkins who will get the gate. Ringgold, Woods, Els, Vogel, and Cox. On the power play. Ringgold behind the goal line. Hash marks to Els. Now to the right side to Cox, who walks on the wall. Wrist shot, right leg save from Cass. And it squeezes its way back out to the neutral zone. Quick pass up to Els. Els drops for Vogel. Vogel left circle, redirected by Woods. Save made by Cass. Wildcats strike on the power play, and it's McGregor alone in front. Couple technical difficulties here. Hope you can hear us back at home. The Wildcats take a 6-1 lead on the power play as Jack McGregor has his second of the game as USM's on a 5-minute power play. And Ethan Mann back out through center. 9:32 to go here in the second period. Mann centers to Egbali, scores. 7-1 lead now for USM, back-to-back power play goals. Egbali from Mann. Face off at center ice, like I said. We apologize for the technical difficulties. A lot of cords going on up here, and one of them somehow came unplugged, and it took a minute or so to figure out which one it was. But we seem to be back up and running here. So back-to-back power play goals. McGregor and Egbali have increased the lead 7-1 for the Wildcats. Exactly 8 minutes gone by here in the second period. And they're still on that power play. It was a 5-minute major. They're still 3:07. Kehoe centering feed to Malosi. Good right save from Cody Cass. Tomes battling behind the goal line. Puck squirts free to Malosi. Back to Mann, outer left circle. Ethan Mann drifts below the circle. Now to Tomes. Tomes will settle it down, spins away from pressure. Back down low to Mann. Tries to center it to the high slot to Malosi. Broken up by the Bluebirds. Good pinch from Garrett Cox. Cox to Egbali. Shot, right leg save from Cass. Kicked out to the neutral zone. Egbali across the line. Tries to pull it through the legs of the defender. And sent the length of the ice by number 17, Lucas Young, for Janesville. 2:19 left to go here on the man advantage for the Wildcats. 8:01 to go in the second period. And USM already has a touchdown on the board. Ringgold slams on the Jets. Sends it back to the left point to Vogel. Vogel now chips it down to Peter Els, who has 2 goals here this evening. Els top of the point, spins it back for Vogel. Wrist shot, sails high off the end glass. Scooped up by Els. Guides it back to the right point to Cox. Didn't make its way to the cage. Kept alive top of the point by Michael Vogel. Now to Els. Near circle, takes it behind the net. Out to the far side. Outer left circle to Ringgold, back to Vogel. Wildcats attacking here on the power play. Down low to Els. Els trying to find McGregor for the hat trick at the top of the crease. Cox back down low to Els. Now to Vogel. McGregor screening Cass in front. Shot from Vogel, knocked down by McGregor, sent the rebound just wide. Cox keeps it alive at the right point. Down low to Ringgold. Ringgold to McGregor. Puck wiggles its way to the far side to Els. Peter Els to Charlie Kehoe, right point. Wrist shot. Caught the paddle of Cody Cass. Went wide. Vogel wrist shot, smothered away by Cass. He'll hold on for a face-off. 6:30, and the clock is now running as USM is on top 7-1. Face-off, far circle. Moe right and Ford. Stone and Kehoe on the back end. Senior captain Charlie Keogh peels away from pressure. Good stretch pass up to Christian Ford. Ford knocks it on into the offensive end. Over to the far side. Mo collects at the half board. It's picked up by the Bluebirds and flung out through center. Tyler stuck 1-on-2. Tries to dance around Stone. Good body position there from Henry Stone. Stone behind his own end line. Pass up to Mo. Tries to get it up to right. It's settled back down by Stone. Stone leaves it for Ford. Power play over for the Wildcats. They strike twice. They have a 7-1 lead here. Just about 5 minutes to go in the second period. Schaffner behind the Wildcats blue line. Up to the left point to Rundy. Waffled off by Schrader. Stone sends it the length of the ice. Icing call against USM. 4:56 to go in the second period. 7-1 lead. Reed Woods will carry it out through center here down the right wing side. Slams on the Jets. Dodges pressure. Left point Vogel. Wrist shot. Redirected by Malosi. Didn't make its way to the cage. Back out through center. Knocked on into the offensive end for Janesville by Caden Erickson. Erickson in on the forecheck. Vogel leaves it for Kennedy. Now to Woods once again down the right wing side. Absorbs the hit of Jamison Rundy. And it's back out to the right point to Kennedy, who drags the line. Wrist shot redirected. Beautifully done. Malosi scores. Wildcats win the puck battle on the near side half boards. As it's able to be sent up to Kennedy, walks the line at the right point. And the screen in the high slot, Malosi redirects it over the glove of Cody Cass. 8-1 lead now for USM. Restart at center ice. Els, Egbali, and Tomes. And a quick whistle and a penalty called against USM. Egbali gets the gate, 2 minutes for hooking. Now Janesville goes to work on their first power play of the night. Eight-1 lead for USM. Ian Perkins will kick it down at the point for Janesville. Sends it over to the right side to Tyler Stuck. Stuck down low behind the goal line to Schaffner. Schaffner, great feed to Rundy. Sends it wide off the cage. Rundy was all alone right there. And here's Tomes as he'll shrug it back out through center. Tomes has it pitchforked off his stick by Perkins. In transition, Janesville comes, lifted up into the protective netting by Tomes. And a stoppage down at ice level. 2:53 to go here in the second period. 8-1 lead for the Wildcats. 1:24 to go in the Bluebirds power play. Wildcats swap out personnel. McGregor takes the draw. Out with Mann, Cox, and Simononik. McGregor wins the faceoff back behind his own goal line. Cox will fling it the length of the ice. Mann will pressure hard here as Cass has it behind his own cage for Janesville. Back out through center. Here comes Walker Koulis. Captain pulls away from pressure out to the right point to Neil Navio. Mann kicks it free to McGregor. Nifty move to the high slot, back to the right side. Finally knocked down by Perkins. As McGregor was looking for the hat trick. Played through the neutral zone right in front of the scorer's table. It's calmed down by Janesville's Walker Koulis. Taken over by the Wildcats. Simononik bats it on in behind the end line. Man arrives at the scene. Cass able to pull it free from number 12 in white. Kyler Ringgold picks it off for USM. Down the left side, Man goes for the change. Ringgold sends it back out to the neutral zone. Wildcats shorthanded here, another 10 seconds. They'll eat away some clock. Stone sends it behind the goal line. 95 seconds to go here in the second period. Wildcats, a 3-goal period here, lead at 8-1. Reed Woods across the attacking line. And it's backed out through center ice. Here come the Bluebirds. A shot from Caden Erickson, right leg save from Schrader. Controlled by Woods through center. Across the red line, now across the blue. Right side, wrist shot, snatched away into the glove by Cody Cass. He'll hold on for a face-off as the clock continues to run under 55 seconds. Face-off directly below us here. McGregor tries to win it free. He does forward. Freshman forward out to the left point to the senior defender Michael Vogel. Wrist shot, another save made by Cody Cass. .18 seconds to go here. Played back to the neutral zone. Vogel sweeps it up to Man. Man now trying to pick it off the stick of Dylan Thong, the lone goal scorer here for the Bluebirds. Down to 3 seconds. Horn will sound. 2 periods of play in the books. 3 goals for the Wildcats in that middle frame. Jack McGregor, Noah Egbali, and Ben Malosi. Dylan Thong finally gets Janesville on the board. 8-1 lead for the Wildcats after 2 periods of play. We'll take a timeout here up top. We'll resurface the ice, and we'll see you when we return for puck drop in the 3rd period coming up in just a couple moments. And we welcome you back for period number 3. As the Wildcats leading this one a score of 8-1. Janesville working the offensive end directly below us here. 3 goals in the second period from USM. A 5-goal first period. Jack McGregor and Peter Ells both with a pair of tallies tonight. Ethan Tomes, Ethan Mann, Noah Egbali, and Ben Malosi, the other goal scorers here this evening. Puck tied up along the end wall behind the USM cage. And now it's freed up, and here comes Reed Woods through center. He'll knock it forward for Marcus Thundercloud as USM in the middle of a line change. Michael Kennedy walks down from the right point. And it's sent on in behind the goal line. Settled down by the Bluebirds. And worked back out through center. Dylan Thong, the lone goal scorer in the second for Janesville. Coming with just under a few minutes to go in the period. An icing call here against the Wildcats. Minute 24 and running time gone by here as goaltender Jack Schrader coming to the bench. Looks like a equipment malfunction. And Michael Polston will come into the cage. As we'll keep an update on that. Like I said, it seems to be an equipment malfunction as Schrader will make his way to the locker room. So Polston in the cage as we continue on here. Here comes Michael Kennedy out of his own end. Egbali up to Vogel. Vogel across the attacking line, right wing side. Vogel plays it over to Egbali below the near circle. Out to the right wing side. Up to Ells. Ells trying to connect with Kennedy. Instead it slides past Kennedy. He's back in his own end to flock it up. Trying to peel away from pressure of Tyler Stuck. Back out to the neutral zone. Ethan Tomes one-on-one. Wrist shot into the skates of Ian Perkins. Picked back up by Tomes, top of the point. Pushes it down for Cox at the right circle. Cox throws it back behind the goal line. And it's lofted out through center. Good pass up to Tyler Stuck, but he goes offside. 13:43 to go here in the third stanza. 8-1 lead for the Wildcats over the Bluebirds. McGregor, Mann, and Ringgold out for the offensive zone. Face-off, delayed offside call against USM. They'll touch up. Bryce Sullivan able to chip it out to the neutral zone for Janesville. Chips it ahead to Walker Kulas, and now it's batted back behind the goal line by Caden Erickson. Erickson, left circle, left point to Rundy, now back to Kulas. Kulas, wrist shot blocked by Ringgold. Good block there from number 20 in white. As Cox will try to clear it through center. Mann trying to kick it free. Instead it's sent on in. First save of the night made for Michael Polston, who came in relief for Jack Schrader just a couple minutes ago. Like I said, believed to be a equipment malfunction. As Schrader inside the locker room. 12:30 to go here in the third period. 8-1 lead now for the Wildcats. Axel Moe, Christian Ford, and Thomas Wright, the 3 forwards on, as Ford will lug it through center. Ford along the near side. takes a hit from Brody Metcalf. And it's the defenseman Ian Perkins out through center. Kicks it over to the left side to Mason Hammett. Hammett on into the far corner. Wildcats get it back. Schaffner, quick shot. Looks like Polson got a piece of it as it catches the end boards. Perkins tries to hold the line. Does so. Saucer pass to Schaffner. Big hit from Kehoe. And Ford will swing it up to Charlie Kehoe as the senior defenseman will lead the rush. Janesville able to regain possession. It's flung back into the Wildcat end by Rundy. Malosi back for the Wildcats, battling in the far corner with Jake Schaffner. Out to the right point, Rundy knocked down. A right leg save from Polston. Rebound, they score. Caden Erickson off the rebound. And it's now just 8-2. 11:05 to go in the third period. So Jack Schrader back from the locker room. Clock stopped now as we're down to a 6-goal margin. 11:05 to play in the third stanza. Restart at center ice. Malosi, Thundercloud, and Ringgold up front. Schrader paddles it down for Vogel. Michael Vogel up to Marcus Thundercloud. Sophomore forward over to the right wing side to Reed Woods. And it will be an icing call against USM. 10:44 to go in the third. And now the clock is running. Defensive zone face-off here for USM. Malosi wins it to the right side to Kennedy. Kennedy's clearing effort. Knocked down by Caden Erickson, finally out through center. Malosi leads the charge on his off wing. Left-handed shot. Takes a tumble into the backboards. Thundercloud arrives at the scene. Marcus Thundercloud pass to Malosi. His shot risen into the stomach of Cody Cass. And Cass holds on for no further play. Tomes takes the face-off. Deep in the Janesville end. Out with Els and Egbali. Vogel and Kennedy on the back end as the Wildcats pressure in the offensive zone. Peter Els frees it up for USM, leaves for Ethan Tomes. Tomes cuts with it on his forehand. Shot sent just wide. Able to regain possession, curls up the near side. Vogel for Tomes. His shot redirected off the stick of Bluebirds forward Jake Schaffner. Recollected by Kennedy. Back to Egbali. Hops over the stick of Tomes. Vogel knifes it free, his shot wide. 8:48 to go here in the third period. USM leading Janesville 8-2. Ethan Tomes, good pass out to the left point of Michael Vogel. Down low to Els. Els trying to find Egbali in the high slot, kicked away from the skate of Dylan Thong. Back out through center. Vogel back behind his own goal line, being pestered by Tyler Stuck. Vogel able to get it over to Kennedy, who leaves for Els. Els will fling it through the neutral zone. Egbali the first one there. Trying to dance around the first player back in forward Brody Metcalf. Janesville will take over in their own end. Diagonal feed intended for Mason Hammett out of his reach. Cox arrives at the scene for USM. Cox for Simonotic, Ringgold, McGregor, and now Mann out on the ice. Cox across the red line far side. Gets it past Perkins. Here's McGregor below the right circle. Backhand shot. Save made by Cass. McGregor looking for the hat trick. Simononics back behind his own blue to play it. Turned over. Erickson's shot blocked by Cox. Getting it back right at the top of the trapezoid was Walker Koulis. Blocked down and freed. Long range shot off target from Lucas Young. And here's McGregor for USM. Saucer pass over to Mann. Out of his reach, skates up to it. Centering feed to Ringgold. His shot sent just wide. Back through center, Jake Schaffner, 1-on-2. Schaffner loses the handle, skates after a free puck in the near corner. Taken over by Kehoe for USM. Now McGregor, saucer feed to Mann at the attacking line. Can't calm down the bobbling puck. Back into the USM ends. Mann collects. Ethan Mann now through center. Holds it off on his backhand. Now to the near side to Ringgold. That's sent back out through center. 1-on-1, cutting the middle. Nifty move from Tyler Stuck in a blocker save made by Schrader. Tyler Stuck able to pull it through the defender's legs. And Schrader able to make the blocker save. Just a little over 6 minutes to go here in the third period. 8-2 lead for the Wildcats as Axel Moe pulls to the high slot. Wrist shot off the far post, it sounded like. Kennedy keeps it alive, coming down at the right point. Wright, Moe, and Ford out up front, sustaining offensive zone pressure here down to our left. Taken over by Caden Garcia. His stretch pass through the center ice logo, picked off by Vogel. Now back behind the USM goal line, icing call against Janesville. 5:41 and counting to go here in the third. 8-2 advantage for the Wildcats. .5:15 to go in the final frame. Wildcats controlling their defensive ends. Thundercloud across the attacking line, left side. Centers it for Vogel. Out to the right point to Kennedy. Kennedy to Malosi. Down low to Woods. Woods to Thundercloud behind the goal line. Bluebirds look to regain possession. Perkins able to free it up for Janesville. Now back out through center. Walker Koulis across the line. Right circle off the shin guards of Vogel. Flocked up by Kennedy. Back out to the neutral zone. Michael Kennedy for Reed Woods. Slams on the Jets. Right circle. Move around the defender. Upended on the play. Delayed penalty call here against Janesville. Schrader to the bench. 6-on-5 advantage for USM. Woods. Far side. Back for Thundercloud. Thundercloud for Cox. Wrist shot. Redirected by Malosi up into the protective netting. And a stoppage in play. Wildcats head on the power play. 4 minutes to go in the third. 8-2 advantage. Face-off. Won cleanly by Malosi. Kehoe right point. Shot redirected. Rebound loose in front. Couple of smacks at it for USM. Cass able to keep it out of his cage. It's Kehoe at the right point. Egbali on that far side half wall. Man behind the goal line. Malosi right circle. Tomes inside the left circle. And now it's cleared out by Janesville. Schrader paddles it down for Kehoe. Kehoe for Tomes. Tomes on the move out of his own end. Through center. Now into the attacking ends. Pass intended for Mann. Has to kick it off his left skate. Frees it to the forehand. Takes it for a skate near side circle here. Man out to the right point to Kehoe. Back to Man. Slap shot blocked down. Tomes gets it from Molosi. Molosi spins it back, top of the point. Kehoe didn't get all of it on the slap shot. Back out through center. A 2-on-1 if they hurry for the Bluebirds. Shot, save made by Schrader as Caden Erickson came streaking on in after receiving the feed from Tyler Stuck. Jack Schrader able to make the big save on the 2-on-1. 2 minutes. Running time. Third period. 8-2 lead for USM. Face-off won by Axel Moe. Christian Ford, good pass to Moe through the neutral zone. Moe's pass intended for right, picked off by Rundy. And an icing call against Janesville. Wildcats leave right, Moe and Ford. Swap out defensive units, Simononik and Stone on the blue line. Janesville sends it the length of the ice once again. Another icing call against the Bluebirds. Under a minute to play now in the third period. Face-off won by USM. Shot from Stone went wide. Simononik now down low to the near corner to right. Simononik walks the line. Shot blocked off. Scooped up by Thomas Wright. Now taken over by Janesville. On the move through center. Off the shin guard of Moe. And now Moe banks it on in behind the goal line. Wright peels away from pressure of the other number 9, Jamison Rundy. Rundy able to gather. Wright hard on in on the forecheck. Down to 12 seconds to go here in the third period. Sent out to the neutral zone. Wildcats will improve their overall record to 11-1 on the season, increasing their win streak to 6 games. Peter Ells, 2 goals. Jack McGregor, a pair of goals. Ethan Tomes, Ethan Mann, Noah Egbali, and Ben Molosi also chipping in on the scoreboard here tonight. 8-2 victory for USM over Janesville. The Wildcats traveling on the road this weekend to face on Waukesha at 7 p.m. on Friday in Delafield, and then to take on Notre Dame at 7 p.m. up in Green Bay on Saturday night. A final score here tonight, 8 USM, 2 Janesville, and that'll do it here this evening. So long, and have a great rest of your night.